Good morning. So the Tonga eruption was so intense, it caused the atmosphere to ring like a bell. The pulse took just 35 hours to cover the whole world from the eruption of the Tonga. And I was sitting here thinking, how is that possible? I know I've heard of the theory that the moon rang like a bell. Good morning, Applebrooks, honey. The moon rang like a bell, but to have the Tonga, have you all heard that it rang like a bell when it erupted? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. That's right. I'm trying to think of when the moon rang like a bell. I'm trying to think about that part too. Moon ringing like a bell. Ring, moon bell ring. Like a bell, because that was strange too. Yeah, that's right. Oh, okay, so I found something too about the moon ringing like a bell. On November the 20th of 1969, Apollo 12 deliberately, now why would Apollo 12 deliberately crash the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface? And NASA reported that the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, leading to arguments that it must be a hollow like the bell. Isn't that interesting, you all? We have the moon ringing like a bell because they deliberately crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface. It led to arguments that it must be hollow like a bell. Well, then what about the Tonga? The eruption was so intense that it caused the atmosphere to ring like a bell, and the pulse took just 35 hours. Notice they say just 35 hours to cover the whole world. You all, come on now. It's like when you're in a great big empty room or an empty house and you holler and your voice echoes because it doesn't got anywhere to go because you're in this great big empty area. And is it like big tunnels too, like because it's like trapped? It's like there's no way to get it out, really. If you like buy a house and there's no furniture, there's nothing in it at all, you go in there and you got a big echoing of your voice. Let me flip this back around. Now my nose is itching again, you all. I don't like it. I really don't. Happy birthday, Dennis, honey. You got a birthday? That's right. Happy birthday. Yes. So, you all, that's wild. And they had an explanation for it. They did, of how it happened. And you know, you can you can listen to that article, but I'm not going to do it. The Hunga Tonga, Hunga Hapai eruption reached an explosive crescendo on January the 15th of 2022. Its rapid release of energy powered an ocean tsunami that caused damage as far away as the U.S. West Coast. But it also generated pressure waves in the atmosphere that quickly spread around the world. You all. The atmospheric wave pattern so close to the eruption was quite complicated, but thousands of miles away, it appeared as an isolated wave front traveling horizontally at over 650 miles an hour as it spread outward. So NASA's James Garvin, chief scientist of the Goddard Space Flight Center, told NPR the space agency estimated that the blast was around 10 megatons of TNT equivalent, about 500 times as powerful as the bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima in Japan during World War II, you all. From satellites watching with infrared sensors above, the wave looked like a ripple produced by dropping a stone in a pond. Well, then that would be like a round ripple, and the water expands outward on all sides. It would be circular, is what that seems like, circular in all areas. Why would it be circular, really? That's right. You're gone. You all don't come on here and speak derogatory toward people who are different than you, people who you don't agree with. Okay, you think you're going to use my platform to do this? I promise you, you will not be allowed to come on here when I'm trying to talk about the Earth's atmosphere ringing like a bell, and you're saying, hell, oh, Earth deceivers, may God punish all the wicked on this. No, you're not. No, you go do it on somebody else's channel. You will no longer comment on my channel. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, I got something to say, Michelle Honey, and your mama's going to say it. Okay, I am. I'm not going to have no speaking down to me, derogatory, judging me or anybody else on here. I'm not going to have it. I'm not. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Don't use this as your platform. Okay, don't. Hello. Yeah. So it looked like dropping a stone in a pond. The pulse registered as perturbations in the atmospheric pressure lasting several minutes as it moved over North America, India, Europe, and many other places around the globe. Around the globe. Around the globe. You all. Love you too. Yeah, it moved around the globe. Online, people followed the progress of the pulse in real time. Now, that would have been really cool. Following the progress of the pulse in real time as observers posted their barometric observations to social media. The wave propagated around the whole world and back in 34 hours. You all, that would have been a sight to see. Oh, here's a little visual right here from Twitter, you all. And you might be able to see the little dots. They change colors as it goes around. Let's look at this. Watch it as it makes its way. Here it comes to the West Coast. It's making its way. Just think, it picked up the sound waves is what it did. The sound waves were picked up by sensors all the way around the world. Oopsie, hello. All the way around the world. And so this meteorologist said they studied the oscillations of the global atmosphere for almost 4 decades. And the expansion of the wave front from the Tonga eruption was particularly spectacular, you all. It was a spectacular example of the phenomenon of global propagation of atmospheric waves, which have been seen after other historic explosive events, including these type of tests. They too do it, you all. They do. So Krakatoa, the eruption was so powerful, it caused the atmosphere to ring like a bell. Though at a frequency too low to hear, it's a phenomenon first theorized over 200 years ago. 200 years ago is a key number. Okay, I guess they say that Krakatoa probably did the same thing, but isn't that interesting? It was so loud or so powerful, so intense, it caused the atmosphere to ring like a bell. And the moon rang like a bell. On November the 20th of 1969, Apollo 12 deliberately, just like NASA is going to deliberately crash the ISS on January of 2031, crash it right down into the area of Point Nemo, where Cthulhu is supposed to be resting asleep. but Cthulhu is supposed to awake. Yeah, they like the, you know that. So why they did that, and it caused they crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface. NASA reported that the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, leading to arguments that it must be hollow like a bell. So, if the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, okay, for almost an hour, well, we have one comparison, you all, we do. So NASA says that the blast from the Tonga was about 10 megatons of TNT, equivalent to 500 times as powerful as the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. So that this wave propagated around the whole world and back for 35 hours, but they don't say how long the earth rang like a bell. But we know since the earth rang like a bell, this whatever pressure, it was like 500 times as powerful as the bomb dropped on Hiroshima. So, and the moon rang like a bell, and it lasted for almost an hour. So whatever came down, I would say, you all, if it rang for almost an hour, there was a powerful explosion. Would you think there was a powerful explosion on the moon as well? Yeah. So this is, it's wild, but you know, I got other stuff I want to share today. Later today, I've been doing some looking. That's right, I have. Deborah, honey, if you were to be judged, let me address Deborah, honey. Deborah, honey, if you were to be judged, if God himself were to look inside your heart, would he see purity, complete purity? Would he see a spotless vessel inside your heart? Would your heart be able to speak back, say, Lord, I have loved you, and I have loved my neighbor as myself. I have truly upheld the law. I have lived my life with love inside my heart. Could you be spotless before him? And there be no form of sin whatsoever, no slander, no hatred, no judging, no nothing. Could one stand before the Almighty as spotless, saying, Lord, I didn't do no such thing? And when Lord God can look inside your heart and knows that your heart would answer back. Could any of us stand spotless like that? Lord, I didn't judge people. I didn't speak down to people. I didn't have no hate in my heart, no envy, no, none of this. I kept sin far from my lips. I kept it far from my heart. Would you be that type of individual? And he'd say, you're right. You're right. Totally spotless. No, I myself could not stand before God and say, I'm totally spotless. I could only ask and hope that grace would be extended to me. Really, I would. May his grace be extended to me. That's what I would say. You all, this is Sunday. It is Sunday. And I don't like to do no speaking down to me. I'm not going to speak at people, speak down to people, saying judgment is coming to you. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to use this platform for this. Okay, I'm not. There may be some who want to, because that's within them to do so. It is. You love all your brothers and sisters, Deborah, honey. Deborah, honey, you have said a lot of things on this channel. And Gina, honey, I don't do nothing. I just leave your comments there. I do. Which is quite rare for me. It really is. There must be something in Deborah's heart that Gina, honey, overlooks. There must be. Actually, I must see something deep inside your heart. I really must, or otherwise I would have blocked you a long, long time ago. I really would have. Perhaps I focus on the love in the side of you. Perhaps I probably do. I do. I do, you all. So I can speak up, and I'm learning to be not too sensitive to others. Okay, I am. But if I sense a certain spirit, no. If it clashes with my spirit, no, you all, it ain't happening. It ain't. But you all, this is really wild. It's wild with the moon ring like a bell for almost an hour because NASA deliberately crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module onto the moon's surface. So it must have had some power behind it, you all. It really must have. Just like the Tonga, you know, that was a powerful, powerful explosion from the Tonga. 500 times more powerful. But it took 35 hours for the whole wave to go around the world. Around the whole entire world. And it really is. It reminds me of being in a big empty house and hollering and your voice echoes. Or being like somewhere else and your voice echoes. All of it, you all. All of it. Dogs because people suck. I'm not going to get on that topic right now. I'm not. I have touched on that topic before. I really have. And this video ain't about that right now, but I have touched on it and I know about it. I really do know about it. That's right, you all. Laura, honey, that's wonderful. Your head is ringing off the hook. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you all. So what if if something is trapped inside a dome, I could see how something would ring like a bell, really, because there's nowhere for it to get out. And then if you say that the Earth has like a magnetosphere, they have a ionosphere, they have all of this stuff around it, and it's like curved. So it's just something different. It really is something different, you all. It is. 35 hours ringing like a bell, and the arguments that came from the moon ringing like a bell, you all. That kind of makes me laugh. It really does. On Earth, look, the moon was ringing like a bell. On Earth, vibrations from quakes usually die away in only half a minute, you all. So imagine this. This is in 2006. Because the Earth is solid, more or less, he's saying. When we have quakes, they usually die away in only half a minute. But the moon itself, what do they do? Have sound things on the moon, detecting it going deep? Yeah, could have. And the Earth, you all. So it's pretty neat. It is. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of other things that go on that we don't really know much about, really. That's right, but that's interesting. And I'm wondering, did you all hear it? Did you read about that? Dogs, thank you. Did you all read about the Tonga eruption ringing like a bell? I think it's really cool that they do have the where you could go online and you could follow the progress of the pulse in real time as observers posted their barometric pressure observations to social media. You all, that would have been really, really cool, but that lasted for 35 hours, you all, tracking the progress of the pulse. It would have been really neat. I admit it would. Real neat. That's right. Yeah, it's intriguing. We have ancient civilizations that live in the earth. Michelle, honey, yeah. Yes, let me look back in here, you all. That's right. Yeah. A light bearer, Deborah Kent. I came from the celestial kingdom. I follow the Christ. I am a light bearer, Gina, for the Creator Yahweh. I'm not going to say that you didn't come from there, and I'm not going to say that you are not a light bearer. You obviously have a light within you, and I know that there's other kingdoms. I know a lot of people have come. There's a theory that people have come here to Earth at this specific moment in time to do something. Well, we all have something to do here, or otherwise we wouldn't be here on this earth. And if I get a chance, you all, later today, I want to talk about the great big round UFOs with the rings on them. I do. I want to talk about those later today. I have found some supporting documentation for that, and some other things that would go together. Because really, if you think about it, UFO ships, big gigantic ships, as big as some countries or some states round. If you were to think about that, I know it sounds far-fetched, but I do. I want to talk about that later, if I get a chance to. I do. Yes, that's right. The weather is so dark, it feels strange. It really is strange weather here. You got a toothache? Cloud rings, Lori Lynn. Yeah. There's something up there in the sky, you all. There really is. I am on a mission. I am. And I will face many obstacles in my life. I will stumble. I will fall. I'll pick myself up. I may say things that I should not have said, but I hope if I have, my conscience convicts me of it. I do. I don't want to have a seared conscience. I don't. And I want to leave space inside of me for the differences in people. I do. Because I know we all view the world from a different perspective. And we can get that perspective out in a loving, kind way without looking down to people. We can. And it is human nature when you have somebody doing a speaking down to me. It's human nature. The human within me wants to lash out at times. It does. But not really bad. I want to speak up. And I do speak up. I try to do my best to speak up in a loving, kind way and offer my perspective. I do. It's okay, you all. We come from different walks of life. Hopefully we're all on the same road trying to get to the same location. That's what I think. We're on the same road. We're trying to get to the same location. But we have a different way of getting there at times, I guess. Different, that's all right, you all. Yeah. Thank you, Michelle, honey. My husband decorated the house. He did. He likes to decorate. He did it all one day when Gina Honey was down in the basement. It's kind of festive, you all. I'm thinking, I'm glad you like to do it because I don't like to decorate. I don't. I don't want to decorate. Aw. Thank you, Laura. Nanya Business. That's right, Nanya Business. The earth rang like a bell when the Tonga erupted. The blast was so intense. It was like that. It took 35 hours for the wave from the volcanic, sound wave. I guess that's what they were, to get across the whole entire earth. 35 hours the wave propagated. 35 hours. And then the moon rang like a bell for almost an hour, when NASA deliberately crashed the ascent stage of its lunar module on the moon's surface. So it had to be extremely powerful. Yeah, real powerful, you all. And there was something about the crashing of the ISS in January of 2031. We were looking at the dimensions of it, and how much it would, what big of an impact it would have when they deliberately crash it into the depths of the ocean at Point Nemo, where Lovecraft's coordinates for Cthulhu is supposed to be at. Someone wrote in the comments section, I haven't looked at the comments this morning, of how big of an impact it would have when it hits the water. And I can't remember what he said, but it sounded really powerful. Yeah, you're tolerating it. Michelle, honey, you can do it. You can. That's right. It's going to be a big splash. Your phone came back on yesterday, you all. So it's Sunday, and I am going to go, you all. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope may something good happen to you today. Yeah, I do. If it's not physically, I hope something good happens to you spiritually on the inside. And if you're sad, I hope that sadness is turned into joy. I really do. And if you want to have your eyes open so that you can see things more clearly in a spiritual sense, I hope that happens for you. I really do. Anything that's going to better our walk in life, I hope that it happens. I really do. If that's truly what you want to be fully prepared on the inside while you walk down this road called life. Yeah. Yeah. So Deborah Kent, honey, thank you for your comments. That's all right. It is, you all. It's fine. So I'm going to go. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. I hope to see you later. I really do. I want to talk about the UFOs that got the great big rings, because they really are massive. They are. Shalom, Leah Live. That's right. Shalom. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Love you. Rich the Prophet, honey, are you on here? Okay, yeah, Gina, honey, just saw you. Love you.